Hello, Mixtresses and Mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtress Video. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to do a pick-a-pile reading, as I did promise you guys that I would give you one pick-a-pile reading at least every month. And I've been healing from, I just got a tooth implant. So I can't remember if I had a pick-a-pile reading in January. I know I had one that I posted on December 31st. But, so I'm going to have to make it up to you that I don't think I had one in January. But here's your February pick-a-pile reading. Got a great suggestion on a comment. I think it was actually an Instagram message, but I got a great suggestion from one of you guys to do a pick-a-pile reading based on, are we sticking to our New Year's resolutions, advice for how to do better with sticking to our New Year's resolutions, how to stay on track. I think that's a really great idea. However, today I was just drawn to doing a Mercury retrograde. And now that I have pressed record, I am remembering that I was going to look up before the video started on when the Mercury retrograde was actually going to be. But hey, maybe it's Mercury retrograde's fault that I forgot to do that. So, I don't know. You guys can look it up. You guys can Google it. I know it started. I think it's starting on like the 18th. And today, as I'm recording this, it's the 17th. So we're probably heading into the Mercury retrograde right now. We've been in the shadow for a while. And we're going to be in it for... It's a shorter one. Like, I think we're going to be in it for less than a month, but I don't know the exact dates. Like I said, because I didn't look it up. I was going to, and then I forgot, and I've pressed record now, so we're already too far in. So, these are your piles. Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Where you're using, like I usually do, I picked a different tarot deck for each pile. So this one's using Sassaribito Tarot. This one's using That 90s Tarot. And Pile 3 is using Vision Quest Tarot. And I also picked a specific oracle deck to pair with each tarot. So Sassaribito, Pile 1, has Oracle of the Shapeshifters paired with it. Pile 2, That 90s Tarot, has a Minty Oracle paired with it. Pile 3, Vision Quest, has Mystical Shaman Oracle paired with it. And I also, with each deck, I picked a card from, I have both the Starseed Oracle and Work Your Light Oracle. They both have art by Danielle Noel and were created by Rebecca Campbell. I have combined those two decks together and I use them as one. So I'm using my combined Starseed / Work Your Light Oracle. I picked one card for each pile from that. And I picked one card for each pile from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. So just so you know what decks you're working with. Because I know for me, whenever I'm looking at pick-a-pile readings, like sometimes I really do pick them based on which deck I'm most drawn to in that moment. So if you would like to do that, I just wanted you to have that information going in. The stones for these piles. Pile 1, I believe this is obsidian. It might even just be glass. I'm not totally sure. But it's slightly translucent, like smoky quartz is sometimes, but it feels more glassy than smoky quartz. And this is malachite on Pile 2. And then amethyst on Pile 3. Okay, so let's get started with Pile 1. I'm going to write down the times on my little notepad here so I'll remember later. And this is going to be a pretty simple, like, advice for how to get through this particular Mercury retrograde. Okay, so let's go ahead and light the candle. Today I chose just this salt lamp just for cleansing purposes. And I've got a black tea light candle in there. And then we're going to burn some incense matches too. I'll spray my Florida water around first. Probably should have done that before I lit the candle, but whatever. I'm going to take my coffee out of the way because I've definitely sprayed my coffee with Florida water before, and that doesn't taste great. All right. Okay. All right. I kind of feel like I'm going to put a little bit of this purification oil on my hands as well. Like 3 little drops. Guess what, guys? Oh my God. I'm really excited. My mom has been training to be, to do Reiki. And she's getting her Master Reiki Attunement, I think is what it's called. So she said once she gets that, she'll be able to teach me. So I'm really excited because I've wanted to learn Reiki for a while, but I'm very sensitive to, you know, like I have to really connect with a person to be able to hang out with them, like one-on-one in person. Like I mean, we all have that problem these days, right? But I'm really excited because I am very comfortable around my mom, so her being my Reiki teacher is going to work out really well for me, I think. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, let's get started with pile 1. Again, your deck. I'm wondering if I can put this rock up here. That just kind of looks silly, so let's put it right there. Okay, your deck. Oh, we didn't do the incense yet. You guys, I'm always like this. Like, I'm very much in the moment. Like, I can't, and I have a really terrible working memory. So, I just, you know, I do things the moment I think of them. And if I don't do them in the moment that I'm thinking of them, I lose them. Okay, so let's do an intention. A few deep breaths. What we want today is to get through Mercury retrograde without too much turmoil and fanfare. We want to be able to get through while still getting things done and resting if things are not working out. I mean, that's something that it's kind of hard to do sometimes when you are really determined to get something done and it's just not working, and you can blame it on Mercury retrograde if you want. We tend to just like try to force it instead of just like letting it go. So we need to have, you know, just like kind of a serenity prayer situation where we need to know, we need to have the grace to know when it's time to let it go versus when it's time to keep going. Okay, I don't know exactly how I'm going to arrange these cards as per usual. Okay. Would this look good if it's propped up? Not really, because you can't see it. Okay. Maybe we can put this one. This incense matches. Like, I never know when they're going to burn all the way, because this one just did not do it. Probably because it doesn't have proper air on this little plate, so it just kind of goes out. Oh well, we'll just work with what we got here. Okay. I'm going to do better this time. Like, I feel like in my other pick a pile readings, when I watch them back, it annoys, no one's mentioned anything, but it annoys me personally when we don't get to see each card up close. So I'm going to do that right now. So from the Vintage Wisdom, you got Guardian Angel. And you're going to focus. There we go. And for me, the term guardian angel, just the fact that I grew up Christian, is kind of triggering. So feel free to disregard the fact that that says guardian angel if you're like me, and change it to benevolent spirit guides or just good vibes that want to protect you and help you, animal spirits. There's definitely like a shape-shifting vibe with you guys. So whatever you personally believe to be, like if you think you have certain family members that have passed on that are with you, then it can be that. If you believe that you have gods and goddesses with you on your journey in this life, you can think about it like that. Just whatever like personal hierarchy of spirits that you think you have around you, that's what this means. Or if you like the term guardian angel, and some of you watching this, that will be the case for you, then go with that. So then from the Work Your Light Oracle, you have play. Come on, baby. Which is have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. That's funny because, like, I didn't actually, like, I saw that it said play, but I didn't read the rest of it. So while I was writing your notes, I actually wrote, don't take life too seriously. And here's this. I mean, this is just my cheesy little basic notes that I wrote for you guys before starting. If you guys want to pause that and look at it. They're just kind of keywords and stuff, which I will probably say anyway. And then from Oracle the Shapeshifters, Snake Princess, the Serpentine Path to Power. I also want to point out that this card is the number 42, which is a very significant card, you know. It's the meaning of the universe. 42, according to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And, you know, that's a guide to the universe, right? Okay. So I think you can see these three cards pretty well, but I always want to like get up close to the Oracle cards because sometimes they're a little bit more detailed and you need to see them better. So overall, you guys' message, like your elements are fire and water, because here we have like the alchemical balance between fire and water, which is always temperance. We have Two of Cups, which is water, Page of Wands, which is fire. Snake Princess, I would say that like snakes are very fire oriented. You could also say earth by looking at this card. Not sure what element play would be. So there you go. Guardian Angel is kind of more spirit element, you know. So it's kind of beyond the regular earth, air, fire, water elements. Okay, sorry, I got interrupted, so hopefully I wasn't in the middle of a sentence. I don't remember what it was, if I was. Okay. We are going to have to replace this candle. I can tell you that right now. So let's go ahead and do it. You guys, I mean, just a little word of warning. If you want black tea light candles, you can find like a 50-pack on Amazon for relatively cheap. However, this could just be like the particular supplier I got it from. I don't know what brand it was, but it's like, they smell like mothballs. They burn down really fast. So I would not recommend them at all. I think I'm just going to light another incense match so we can kind of get back in the space because I just got interrupted for a second. And I want to make sure that we keep in our space here. Which is a good reminder. We're all going to be interrupted often during Mercury retrograde. Things we are going to attempt to do are going to be very much derailed. But you can always just take a deep breath, try to get back on track. And hey, if it keeps not working, you can stop. Okay, so the way that I interpreted, let's start with your tarot cards here. I interpreted this whole reading as a relationship between you and your spirit guides and guardian angels. It very much seemed to me like The general message for you guys in pile 1 is to kind of take a step back, and this particular Mercury retrograde cycle, take a step back and just really, again, just literally have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. That's your overall thing. And I think another element of that is kind of re-upping your relationship to your guides, your angels, your gods and goddesses, your spirituality in general. Even if you don't personify it, even if you don't believe in guides and guardian angels and ancestral spirits and all of that stuff, even if you don't believe in any of that shit, this particular Mercury retrograde is about sitting back and re-upping your commitment to your spirituality. And the way to do that for you is to not take life as seriously, is to play, is to get out there and dance or go for a walk or, play with your pets or kids that are in your life. Just like allow yourself to I see this as you. However, I see this as a core part of you that maybe you haven't been experiencing lately. I feel like this sort of like childlike inner flame that got you to all of the things that you've accomplished in your life so far. You were really able to do that because of this, just like this ability to be a playful page of wands, This is a weird analogy, but I just watched last night the Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey. And she's very much, she's kind of like an evil version of a page of wands, but it's just this sort of playfulness, this sort of like not worrying that every single thing you do is going to be a big deal. I know for me personally, like I'm always worrying about how others are going to view my actions. And there's a lot of good in that, like making sure that you have empathy for others. But I think in your case, you've had so much empathy for others that you've forgotten to take care of yourself. So this time period is just sort of, Two of Cups doesn't have to be like a love for another person. It can be, but it can also be a love for yourself. And I think in this particular instance for you guys in pile 1, it's about reconnecting to the source of yourself, the source of whatever spirituality you personally work through. Even if for you that's just lighting a candle and meditating at the end of the day, whatever version of your spirituality, whatever version of coming back to yourself, coming back to that page of wands, that's what. And you can get there through play. And the snake princess thing, basically, I got the message that, this was really about reconnecting to your spirit guides, reconnecting to yourself, reconnecting to your spirituality. So when I got to, I think this is one of the last cards I picked, I kind of asked the question, since I had already picked the shape-shifting oracle deck for you guys, and each one has an animal on it, I asked the question, who are your guides? Who are your animal guides? Who are your animal spirits this particular cycle of Mercury retrograde? And that's when I pulled Snake Princess. So I don't know how you feel about snakes in general. Maybe some of you have a snake as a pet. And that could definitely be a Two of Cups soulmate situation. Reconnect to your snake energy. And also because it has this subtitle of the serpentine path to power, I think that means that like you are going to ascend to a new level of spiritual development soon. I think this is sort of a waiting period beforehand. This is kind of a reconnecting to the things that really matter to you time period. But that ascent, it's very serpentine, it's gone all different directions, and every part on that path has led you to where you will eventually be, which is a really great, powerful standing in your power kind of place. So just remember that child that you used to be, that little ball of flame, that little firecracker that you used to be, and reconnect with some of those things that you did when you were that little firecracker. What did you do to play? What was it for you? You know, even if it was something silly like hopscotch, like for some reason hopscotch is popping into my head. Even if it's something like that, like do it again. Don't worry about like how you look while you're doing it. Just do it. Play. Reconnect with that essential part of who you are, that essence of you, that page of wands. Yeah, we forget that we really are our own soulmates, and it can all be carried out within us. I wrote down the word shapeshifting, not only because I happen to choose the shapeshifting deck, but also because of temperance. Because like this particular temperance card, I'm not sure if this is what the artist intended, but to me, I see scars right here. To me, I see this particular temperance card as a trans man. So some of y'all have gone through some identity transformations, or you're about to go through identity transformations, or you're in the midst of identity transformations. I mean, that's true shape-shifting right there. If you were able to realize your true self within the body, if you're like in this particular instance, he was able to realize his true self as a man inside the body of a woman. And I mean, that's temperance. That is so temperance. It's about mixing fire and water harmoniously. And in order for you to be able to do that, in whatever way you personally need a shape-shifting transformation or have already gone through one, it's like a period of rest. It's a period of rest through play. That's what I see for you guys. All right. So that is pile 1. Let us move on to pile 2. Okay, I tried to pick 3 tarot cards for each pile, but with yours, while I was shuffling, I might have to overlap them a little just to be able to fit them all on here. For you guys, while I was shuffling, 4 cards just literally jumped out of the deck. Oh wait, I missed a card. I'm like, where's your Vintage Wisdom card? Okay. All right, so these are all your cards. And I'm going to pull the Oracle cards up close. So from the Starseed Oracle, you got Portal, Doors Are Opening, You Decide, Rewards, and Wild Card. From the Amenti Oracle, you got I Regard All Altars with Respect, which is kind of your most important card, I think. I'm just going to put it up here since I think that's a better placement for it. And then from the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, you got Grace. I like to use this particular oracle because it has very simple words on it. And, you know, I just like it as an overall focus. So what I see for you guys, and if you would like to pause on this is just my notes that I took for you guys. What I see for you guys is that you are about to step through a portal. You're about to step through a really important doorway. And because we have like these pillars here, so there's sort of a portal aspect going on here. Even with this card, like visually, it sort of looks like she's stepping through a veil or a curtain. So you've got a lot of portal energy going on in your oracle cards. So for me, what I see is that you are about to ascend. You're about to go through a very specific milestone for you personally. Like maybe you're about to get promoted at work, or, something of that nature, where you're about to step through into some kind of maybe notoriety or recognition. And this Mercury retrograde time for you guys is about taking, Mercury retrograde is always kind of about taking a step back and taking a breath and being like, okay, things are not going to work out perfectly for me right now. So what do I do while I'm waiting? So for you, what you do while you're waiting, the advice that I'm seeing is that you're going to have to actually remind yourself where you came from. So that's the Six of Swords. You're going to have to walk through the portal with grace and respect and reminding yourself where you've come from, because you're still going to be in a moment where you're going to have a tendency to forget where you came from. So this is a reminder to keep the balance. So both the Queen of Swords and Justice are Libra cards. And the Queen of Wands is sort of Aries, like getting shit done. So this is where you are. You're sort of getting shit done. You're walking through that portal. You're ascending to the next level, and you're in a really good place right now. But I'm just getting like fame and notoriety as being like, definitely for some of you, since this reading is for many different people, this isn't going to be for all of you, but definitely for some of you, you're like about to get like a huge burst of Instagram followers or something. And because it's going to happen so quickly, this is a warning to not let it go to your head, to remember the balance, especially having two Libra cards right here together, Justice and Queen of Swords. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget the respect, the grace, the beauty, the love that has been shown to you and you have shown others in the past that got you to this point. Keep yourself. There's a danger that you're going to lose yourself in the excitement of whatever doorway, whatever portal you are going through. And this is even, I didn't even think of this until this moment, but the fact that this portal card right here says you decide, that tells me that this portal that you're about to walk through could even be one that you ultimately decide not to walk through. And Queen of Swords, Libra cards in general, Queen of Swords and Justice. And I come from Libra. Like, I'm Libra rising, Libra sun, and I have Libra in like 3 or 4 of my other planets. Like, I'm just like fucking Libra. And I also have an Aries moon. So this is like, I'm almost talking to myself here in some way. But so I know from Libra. Libra is all about like making sure things are balanced, making sure you're fair. Like, you want to tell the truth. You can be brutal truth lady. Queen of Swords is definitely brutal truth lady, but she's also fair. Like, she's not going to tell you the brutal truth if it's not something that you need to hear. She's not going to like say something shitty to you just because it's true and she thinks it. She's discerning. She's not just total blunt truth all the time. Although Shannon Doherty is kind of total blunt truth all the time, isn't she? But I'm just getting the message that this portal that you're standing in front of right now, you could decide not to go through it. You could ultimately decide, if you spend a lot of time just really thinking about it logically and analyzing it and making pro and con lists. Like, I want to encourage you to do that right now. I feel like you're kind of swept up in something at the moment, and it's time to step back and take a breath and ask yourself, project yourself into the future. I think you're getting swept up and you're not thinking about how this particular situation that you're in right now is going to change you. And you might decide that this next portal is not one you even want to step through, because maybe you feel like you can't step through it with grace yet. Maybe you feel like you're not ready to come out on the other side of it, still having respect for all living things. And that's a danger with power in general. Like, if you are about to gain some sort of notoriety and power, or if you're in the process of reeling from those changes already having happened to you, you may not realize where that can take you. Sorry, I just got distracted by my particular window that I'm looking out of right now in my house looks onto like a playroom. And I just saw one of the kids in the house. He came in and he was wearing like a full, like muscly superhero outfit of some kind. So I just think that's kind of funny. Like, you're in a very superhero place right now. You are, but with, I mean, so cliche, but I mean, let's go there. With great power comes great responsibility, and it's true. You really have to remember when things get easier for you, you have to remind yourself where you came from and take a step back from it. And it's an effort. You have to put that effort in. If you start to get to a point in your life where less people are questioning what you're doing outwardly and are just sort of respecting you as an authority figure of some kind, you have to remember where you came from so that you can continue to put love and respect and grace out there in the world. Because if you don't continually remind yourself and humble yourself, then you will become an asshole leader. Because power just does that. Power corrupts. It will do it to anyone. If you are unchecked, no matter who you are, where you've come from, if you suddenly become unchecked, you can become an asshole. You have the potential to become an asshole. So make sure you don't do that. And I think that's what the warning is right now. And even if that means whatever this next opportunity is, could be a really big opportunity for you. And it might be a good thing, you know? If you can make sure and find that balance within and make sure you're being just and fair and true and respectful of all other creatures, if you feel like you can do all of that while stepping through the portal, then do it. But I think this Mercury retrograde is a time to sit back and really think about how you are going to change as a person if you step through this next portal. So, I don't know, that's really cool. Let me see if I got all the notes I had here. Step through the doorway with grace and respect. You may be ascending, but if you step on people on the way through, you won't go far. Be fair, be humble, remember where you came from. There you go. Oh, I forgot to get my iPod out today, guys. So I guess we don't have an accompanying song today, because I did not do one for pile 1, so I'm definitely not going to be unfair and do them for the other piles if I didn't do it for pile 1. Okay, now it is time to talk about pile 3. So let me just write down, we are 33 minutes in for pile 3. Okay, guys. You guys, your element is 100% true earth. Earth, 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 earth. You got Mother of Earth, Ace of Earth, Daughter of Earth. You got the Ancient Ones, which is the very first card in the Mystical Shaman deck. I can't tell if this is focused. Yeah, it's pretty focused. But I just want to give you a second with this one because it's detailed artwork. And then you got Change from Vintage Wisdom and Transformation from the Work Your Light Oracle. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Put that one down here. Make sure it's all in the shot. And then Change is going to be up here. So for you guys, I feel like there's a family situation going on right now. So with this Mercury retrograde pick a pile reading just in general, no matter which pile you picked, it's about using the time of Mercury retrograde to kind of take a breath, take a moment, step back from your life, and kind of reassess. Like, instead of trying to go forward with a lot of shit going on, kind of reassess. But for you guys, this is different. You guys are fully rooted in practical shit right now. Changes, maybe a new job, maybe you're moving, but it's a very positive change. So I feel like you're not really in a practical space to take a step back and not do anything right now. So just keep going. You're in the midst of getting used to a new job maybe, or you're about to be offered one, or you're just about to be offered a new opportunity, like a move or something, and it has something to do with your family. Just the presence of there being a mother and a daughter, and it all being in the earth suit. And then, just the very obviousness of having the keywords of transformation and change. Ancient Ones brings it back, though. I feel like there's some sort of like familial healing going on. Like maybe you are moving your mother in with you right now to help take care of her, or just in general, like maybe you've just decided to move back in with your mom, or vice versa. Or maybe you are being very mothering to someone right now that you're taking into your life. I feel like this is very physical and practical. Like you're literally moving in with someone, or they're moving in with you, and it has something to do with taking care of them and healing them, or yourself. There's some sort of healing going on with the what's the word I'm thinking of? With the, just interacting and healing and being with someone that needs it, whether you're the one that needs it. But I feel like for more of you, since this reading is for a lot of people, it could be a lot of different things. But I feel like for more of you, this is about you being the mother. If that's literally or not, you are mothering to someone else. You are providing healing to someone else. And this is a new situation. You're currently in the throes of the change and the transformation, but it's something that's going to be really good for not only whoever it is that you're helping right now, whether it's your mother, your daughter, or someone that is like a mother or like a daughter to you. And, keep the gender out of it. I use mother and daughter interchangeably. It doesn't have to be. It could be, it could be boy pronouns or something in between, they, them pronouns. But just that general, and it's really taking back, like there's almost like this recognition, if you believe in ancestral spirits being around you, I believe that they are, if you believe in that, I believe that they are totally on board with this change. They're saying, this is good for you. This is what you need to be doing. Keep going, because you're getting that deep cellular healing. It's going to be just as good for you to help this person as it's going to be for them to be helped. And it's kind of a beautiful thing. Like I don't even really have any specific advice. Let me see what I wrote down in my notes. Family change, job, practical shifts, mother yourself, family caretaker. I mean, there could be some of you, that is like one of my first notes that I wrote down was mother yourself. There could be some of you that like, for you, this change is not moving towards someone, but moving away from someone. You might be choosing to, like this Ace of Earth could for you be like a new apartment and you're moving out onto your own. Like I'm reminded of a situation in my life where I was getting out of a pretty big relationship, and for whatever reason, I had to date someone that was not someone that I really saw any future with. And so I dated him for like 8 months and I lived with him. And I never thought that we were going to be anything. I didn't even really respect him that much, which is awful. But I was in that space because I knew I needed to heal in some superficial way before I was ready to do the real healing. And I was able to gather the strength within that sort of nothing relationship over those months. I was able to gather enough strength to go back to school, get a promotion at work, and get my own apartment. All like within the span of a month, I did all of those things. I moved out and got my own apartment. I went back to college and I got a promotion at work so that I could have enough money to take care of myself. And for me, that was my Ace of Earth, Mother of Earth, Daughter of Earth, because I was learning to mother myself for the first time. I was learning to take care of myself for the first time in my adult life, because I really hadn't done it properly up to that point. And I was living completely on my own. It was just me and a ferret against the world. And for some of you, that could be your particular change and transformation. Whatever is going to ultimately be the right moment for you to be a caretaker, whether that's a caretaker of yourself or a caretaker for others. Whatever that is, where you can be both the daughter and the mother. Yeah, it's just a beautiful, loving caretaker change vibe that we've got going here. And it's like you're tapping into some ancient energy, some like maybe you are seeing in yourself a type of mother that you yourself had, even if it wasn't with your literal mother. It's almost like you are, the way that you are treating someone else right now with the healing and the motherly vibes is reminding you of someone from your past, maybe a grandma. You've had sort of like the instinct that maybe you're tapping into that, or you're questioning yourself of whether or not you can tap into that. And this is telling you you can. This is telling you that if there's that grandma that is passed on that you want to be like, but you feel like you don't have what it takes, she's here to say you do. She's saying it right now. She's saying you have what it takes. You are like me. You can care for someone the way that I cared for you. So I feel like it's just you're passing something on that has been in your family. Even if it's just, again, taking care of yourself. You can take care of yourself in that way that your grandma did, or whoever. It's kind of beautiful, and it's making me sort of get teary-eyed a little bit. Like whatever this familial healing, caretaking, change, and transformation that you're going through, it's going to feel like a struggle at times, of course, as any change is. You know, you're going to have these moments like she looks like she's not ready for the fucking change. But you're going to have those moments where you feel like you're not ready for the fucking change. And especially during Mercury retrograde, there might be some logistical shit that's just not going to work out. Like if you're trying to move in with someone, you know, like finding the right place or getting things set up, or maybe like, you know, it's just something stupid like your router's not working that you had to buy at a new internet company in this new place that you just moved into. Like you might have to go through a couple of routers before you find one that actually gives you reliable Wi-Fi. You know, like some of that shit is going to be stressful along the way, but overall what you're doing right now is a good thing. Is a healing thing. You're doing something great for someone else, or even just yourself. So it's kind of beautiful. I'm glad, I'm happy with where you are, and I hope that you are too. So that is pile 3. Okay, guys. So that's all 3 piles right there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the month. I hope you have a wonderful Mercury retrograde. You know, for some of you, like nothing weird is gonna happen, you know? For some of you, it's not gonna feel like a struggle. So hopefully we can all have a little bit of that. If you're one of those people that has very little struggle during a Mercury retrograde, try to pass that piece along to the rest of us. We would appreciate it. All right, that's it. I guess I should give you guys a little, of course, this is always in the notes below in the description, but I do tarot readings If you want like a more personal tarot reading, this is the link for that to my Etsy shop. The @Mixtress Ray, I just closed my Twitter account because I haven't even opened it in like 2 years. So the @Mixtress Ray is just for Instagram, if you want to follow that. Yeah, I would love to do some readings for you guys. I love doing all this tarot stuff. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you in the next one.